so much for your time. We appreciate you for your thank you so much for joining. This is Debby Hope Ebadan Soundcheck with Debby again. You know, we took a long time to come on Zoom. It's because I'm planning some other programs. I don't know, maybe some people were at CBR. I was honored to one of our planning committee for CBR Pro audio speakers. I know some of us have listened to it and some of us came to the program. Right now we are still planning another because if we don't create awareness, the counterfeit are still creating their own awareness. So we have to come out. If you know that you have a product, you have to come out. We also have another China product where you have you get to who is also coming to Nigeria very soon. Then other products too. I think Soundcheck is also coming out. They're giving out to the industry. Soundcheck, some of you don't know that Soundcheck is really a very factory. Like the manufacturing speakers and general. So Soundcheck is coming out very strong. So they have to qualities. There are lots of giveaways and a lot of opportunities. Some lots of these speakers, Soundcheck is going to be an open up to that because it's a factory here in Nigeria. And it has been for many years. I don't know why there's going to be employment. People are going to upgrade their skills. If you know you love to build speakers, there are going to be lots of employment opportunities, a lot of distribution opportunities. They are going very, very big in what they're about doing. And the event is September, so we're also planning that too. So I want everybody to embrace us, embrace our thing. Now, today we are talking about how loud is too loud. I remember a lady that once came, I think in a group, they showed us a lady how the loudness of a speaker busted his our eardrum. Some of us have even ruined our own personal eardrum. I've seen somebody going to the speaker, putting his ear very close to the speaker. I'm wondering, what do you want to hear? You want to hear kick or what? What do you want to hear from a loudspeaker where you can easily get a reference speaker? Or you get an headset, as in get an headset. Now, how loud is too loud? How do you calculate your loudness to sum up the loudness that you want? Because when you tell some people, increase the volume, they will go straight to the gain knob. Is that where you're supposed to go to? Are you going to build it from the amplifier? Is it from your fader? Is it supposed to be on your unity gain? Or at what dB? And dB varies though. There's dB SPL, there's dBV, there's dB. There are lots of dB. So dB, how do we sum up all this dB? dB like decibel as in volume. How do we sum up everything? We have somebody in the house. As a pro artist, like the way I say sound bender. He has bent sound. So let's welcome engineer ANIEKEME Etikudo. Please, our audio claps, the way we go. Our audio claps. Thank you. Audio claps. Engineer Etikudo, you're welcome. Can you hear me, sir? Yeah. If you're lower, thank you for the claps. More claps. Our audio claps. Victor, Engineer Victor Osukak. Thank you. More audio claps. Thank you. Welcome you, sir. They're also viewing you in other social media platforms, not only on Zoom. You're on LinkedIn, you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook. So we are all welcoming you here. So the floor is yours, sir. Engineer Etukudo. ANIEKEME.
Okay.
I got it.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon,
Can
sir.
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Can you hear him too?
Okay.
If I can hear you, we can hear you, sir. Can you also hear me? Hello, sir. Can you also
Yes, I
hear
can hear
me?
you.
Okay, now the floor is yours. So
Can
introduce
hear you.
yourself to us. What brought you to this
Okay.
field? Did you actually study audio engineering, as we will say?
Okay.
How
Good.
come you were here? Yes, sir. So
No,
want to
I
hear
didn't see
from
it
me.
coming. No.
Okay, now tell us
I
how
didn't
you
see it
got
coming. I wanted
finally
to
saw
be a
it.
pilot. So my name is
Okay,
ANIEKEME ETUKUDO. So I am a audio practitioner from our last the Convergence Lagos.
yeah.
So uh, growing up as a little boy, we lived
Okay.
somewhere in Eket, close to Mobile Airstrip. So we always had aeroplanes and chopper fly over our roof, and it used to catch my attention. Do you understand? And a pilot. Also, I was a preacher's child, so I think the year 1996 we got our new set of equipment in church. That's a Ahuja one speaker, an Ahuja 100 amplifier, an Ahuja microphone, and a Casio keyboard, and a thunder drum. Don't know how many of us remember thunder drum. So of course there was no sound engineer. There was no sound engineer, so we had to make it work ourselves. So with I don't think that black and red flex cable. I don't know whether one is 0.5 millimeter cable.
Yeah,
So
those, yeah.
so we connected it and made it work, and that was where the journey started, 1996. So with time we improved on it. This is like a background, and to other equipment, and other equipment, and other equipment, and we are here today. Okay, so that's about me.
Okay, you wanted to be a pilot.
Thank you so much.
You wanted to be a
Yes,
pilot. Sound engineering
I
took
had
it
to be a
from you.
pilot. Then okay, so the way I was losing and spoiling some things, or opening and fixing back electronics at home, I was sent to a technical college. Yes, they said this one go to a technical college because
Okay.
so somehow I had to go to a polytechnic after then. And my dad just insisted. Do you understand? I wanted to just go to Mobile training school, and from there join, because then Mobile was they were absorbing everybody that passed through
Okay.
their training school. So would have been maybe
Okay.
one Mobile employee by now. My dad said you must go to university. If you want to work in oil company when you come back, working on, you must not do all those HND and that. You must go to university.
Okay.
So I got admission. Yes, I got admission to Yaba Tech and University of Nigeria and Nsukka. So
Okay.
I passed through mechanical engineering in University of Nigeria and Nsukka, and
Ah.
after then NYSC worked a little officially. Yes, and before I now came back to what I've been doing all along, and I had strong passion for, which is sound engineering, and yeah.
That's why I call you sound bender.
So that is.
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not sound bender. There's someone that is officially sound bender in Nigeria, and it's even a sound blender official in Nigeria. So,
And that's the name now. It's not like me
so
saying that I own the word Soundcheck. Soundcheck is a general name. But at least I am attached to it one way or the other. I have attached my name to it. So I know somebody is sound bender in it. But the word sound bender, as in, because I have listened to most of your mixes. At least you don't give us the, but I've gone to YouTube too. I'm like, how did you make your sound behave in this environment like this? And the production of another one is always different in another environment. As in,
yes.
one thing I always love about a good sound engineer is that the way you recreate every instrument in different environments. Because some people just have a template for instruments and they don't know that they could behave differently because of the acoustic behaviors and the sound, the environment differs. from the previous one.
Yes.
So how do they still tweak it? Some will not tweak it. They will just upload the same template, or they have a template in their mind and they'll say this is the EQ. I remembered when during the time of analog, somebody will just come to the board even before you begin to sound check. They've already turn it left, right, middle, left, right. They'll say, "Oh yeah, play." You see, it will sound. You understand?
Well, I was there at a point in my life. Do you understand? My church bought the sound engineer. Then it was analog console. This is 2003, 2002, 2003, thereabouts. Yeah. So the sound engineer came and mixed the sound. It was so good. You know what I did? Because some other people used to come and fiddle with the sound. I brought a cardboard paper and I drew from channel 1 to 32, drew the high, the frequency, the mid, the frequency, and the low. Do you understand? Yeah. I did that for 32 channels. And I now marked the position at which the guy kept every single parameter, all the 32 board. So the sound was just consistent and good. Anytime I am not around, or do you understand, bassist or any other person come and scatter the sound. When I come back, I just pull out my cardboard and I get everything. I get the preset back.
You have so you have done the preset of, as in like you drew the. You've been there.
No,
This have been there. I cannot say that I did not. No, this have been there. I remember this have been there too. So nowadays, you know that the environment depicts. The environment has to interpret your tweaking, your parameters, how you're going to sum up everything to make a beautiful sound. So that's why we'll call you today. That, sir, I know you're a master in this. So I'm going to give you the floor right now for us to just tutor us, give us a guide on how you make your magics. Thank you so much for your time. So I'm going to leave the floor now. On to you, sir. You own the floor.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, all the attendees. So, I'm going with speaker placement because the goal is having even distribution of audio throughout the entire venue or your space. So things you should have in mind is to ensure that you point the speakers to the people and not to the walls, so that your reverberation or your reflection to the walls and to the roof, or the reflection from the walls and the roof is greatly reduced. So you want to play your speaker source to the people. Another thing I will try to emphasize on is ensure that you have a suitable height so that your speaker can cover much space as it can. For example, someone say, "Oh, I don't have a line array speaker, I have a point source." Do you know that if you keep your point source like 2 meters from ground level, if people stand up, do you understand, at standing level, they kind of just absorb the sound. And that same speaker at that level, at a certain level, if it was higher than that, than head level, it could maybe cover up to like 10 or 15 meters conveniently. But because it is low, once people stand up, do you understand, they kind of absorb the sound and you can't, the speaker cannot travel far. And maybe you see yourself, the mix engineers try to compensate by pushing levels, you get. And by that, you will observe that the people in front there that are absorbing the sound, they kind of get the sound too loud, too much on them. So speaker placement is a very, very important rule, very, very important factor when you're talking of clarity of sound and loudness of sound. So ensure that even if it's a point source, that you have your speakers above the people, do you understand, and pointed to the people. Try and avoid the walls, avoid the roof. So people will ask me, sometimes we see some pictures that we have some of the arrays actually pointing up to the heavens. And I'm like, what venue was that? And they're like, maybe it was an arena, or they sent me a picture. It was an arena. I'm like, okay. So during the system design, since they are trying to point the speakers to the people, just as I just mentioned, so there are bleachers, do you understand? So there are people up there, and they want them to have a good audio experience. So if they don't have those speakers pointed like that, at those angles, they'll tend to just hear the mid-range, the low mid, and the rumble, and they will not get a good fidelity from the speakers. So, and I see some people maybe on crusade grounds. Okay, for example, I was going into a venue, and I already had an idea. I saw the setup. They were hanging like 10 speakers arrays per side. from outside, I was telling the guy that was driving me, that a sound guy too, that the way I'm hearing this sound from outside, from like some meters away, that I feel that the angling is not right. That the people inside the venue may not have this sound pressure level or this sound this clear. And of course, when we entered the venue, just looking at it, I saw that out of the 10 6, 5 of them were almost pointing up, and 5 was like straight, and like just few was in the venue. And the sound was very, very low. And to my own understanding, the sound was far too loud, because the placement of speaker and the engineering of the speaker, that's the angling, rigging angles were not correct. So I think I've made example of outdoor, I've made example of indoor also. So speaker placement, still of speaker placement. We know that how points behave, that point source will lose 3 meters, 3 decibel per meter. So, for example, if you are playing at 100 decibel, do you understand, 3 meters away or a meter away, what do you have? You have 97. Another meter away. So with that,